Sarah's still in bed, and I'm making an omelet, which is what Sarah and I have been eating for breakfast on fast, during fast. Note, Nikki, I'm using store-bought eggs, much to my chagrin. True, I watched a number of your videos last night. They were long and talkative. So yeah, this is my normal morning routine actually. So I actually set up the camera last night. And thought I'd just kind of capture what I do when I make breakfast every morning. So it's usually an ad hoc process, as you can see. And I just see if I can actually make a decent omelet this morning. It's always hit and miss because I'm not very methodical. But usually I just make one omelet and Sarah and I split it. Now Sarah's getting up, I can hear her. She'll be up in a sec here. So as you can see, crew, I'm using the iron skillet here. This is something I bought for Sarah a long time ago. This actually. Yeah, so I guess I should talk about something rather than just show me cooking an omelet. On the omelets, actually, I do put in usually eat. I have ham, cashews, craisins, and cheese. And that's what the omelets consist of. Now Sarah will come down and she'll feed the cats because that's what she does, because I don't care about the cats. We keep the pets. So, hey Sarah.
Hey.
I'm making a video.
Okay.
So don't say anything obscene.
Try not to.
I wanted to mention that in case you guys aren't aware, the soccer season has started again. MLS, actually the first MLS match of the year is on Saturday, but on Wednesday I watched the Galaxy play against Toronto, and I watched Seattle play against Santos. Santos Laguna, I think is the name of the team. It's a Mexican team. and that's in the CONCACAF Champions League. So that's CONCACAF Champions League is a tournament where you qualify for it every year by either winning, well, basically by winning your league. And so it's the best teams in North and Central America play one another. Just to cook a little bit more before I do that. So Santos is a really strong Mexican team, and Seattle played them in Seattle. And Seattle won 2-1. Now, this is the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So you actually, there's an initial group round qualifying that happens in 2011, and then the quarterfinals and finals are in 2012. So yeah, this is, I think this is going to be okay here. There we go. So Seattle qualified, and the quarterfinals is what they call a home and home series, so or home and away. So you actually, they play a game in Seattle and then a game in Mexico, where Santos is home. The U.S. The Galaxy. So Galaxy played Toronto FC, who qualified from Canada, even though they're in the MLS. And so the Galaxy played in Toronto. And by the way, in these home and home series, there's a it's called the away goals rule. So the first tiebreak is the number of goals you scored in the other team's stadium. So the Galaxy game is really interesting because the Galaxy was expected to really dominate Toronto. Toronto wasn't very good last year, but still managed to qualify because there's only 2 professional teams in Canada. LA started out giving up 2 goals to Toronto in the first 20 minutes of the match, actually the first 17 minutes. But then they came back and scored a goal, I don't know, late in the first half, and scored a second goal right at the end of the game to tie 2-2, which actually gives them an advantage because with the away goals rule, they go back next Wednesday and they play in LA. And if they tie in LA and they don't let Toronto score more than 2 goals, oh, Sarah doesn't want to be on camera. Tough. Come on, hot woman.
Yeah, right.
Then they win. Now, Seattle beat Santos 2-1, but they were at home, so they gave up a goal to Santos. So Santos scored a goal. So all Santos has to do is win 1-0 at home to advance in the tournament. And quite frankly, that's the more likely outcome. So the cool thing about the LA-Toronto match was that the Toronto fans were throwing streamers. So every time there was a corner kick, David Beckham would get in the corner and Toronto fans would just pelt him with streamers. I mean, just completely, they were
security was coming out and trying to clean the streamers off because he couldn't actually kick the ball because they were throwing so many of them at him, and just wasted so much time. And so the Toronto fans thought it was very clever, and I don't have a lot of patience for that sort of thing. I think it's nice. There were 50,000 people there, so it's great to see a huge soccer crowd that's passionate, but I just don't have any patience for disrupting the game. Also, this has been happening all game, and so LA, it was in the 88th minute, Beckham gets a corner, he goes out, goes set up, and they start throwing streamers again, and then Toronto subs a player in, which is a tactic that teams use, Nikki, late in the game to waste time.
Are they ahead at this point?
And they were ahead 2-1, and so Beckham's standing on the corner out there, and while they're subbing, he ends up having to stand there for like over a minute, and they're just throwing streamers at him the whole time. And finally, right at the end, somebody throws a beer can at him. And he was pissed off already. So he goes and they don't hit him with it. But he picks up the can, he's showing to the ref, and he goes and takes the corner. And it's funny because there's video of this online on YouTube of fans in the stands. And they're shouting obscenities at him and stuff. He sends the corner in, and of course, LA scores off the corner. Landon Donovan scores. And it's actually funny because in this one video in the stands, there are these, you could hear some of the fans laughing because they recognize the irony of the whole thing where they've been sitting there torturing this guy else. And Beckham, of course, he scored the goal, and the first thing he does is he turns around and he points at the fans and starts making fun of them. So, anyway.
Well, and they wasted so much time that now their team can't.
I know. So, well, LA was definitely the better team. LA had probably, 5 scoring chances for every scoring chance that Toronto had. Anyway, so I think this has already been more than 15 minutes, and it's probably boring as hell for you guys. But this is a normal breakfast thing. So Sarah and I will finish breakfast. I'll drink this vat of water. And then what's going to happen, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't have to be at work till 7:30. So I'm going to go back to bed and sleep. And crew, what I've been doing is working out actually after work this week, just because it sucks to go and work out on a full stomach. And since the sun goes down around 6, I work out at 4. I'm done. I'm home a little before 5. And I can deal with being thirsty for an hour or so. But, yeah. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just leave this running, and I'll edit this together. I'll fast forward through some of the early parts when I was still half awake. I wasn't talking. One thing I gotta say, this omelet is delicious. Are you gonna eat any more, Sarah? The thing about Sarah is during the fast she doesn't eat anything at all, hardly. So she gets all bony and horse-faced. She looks like
Nice.
Aunt Petunia. Sarah didn't want to get on in the camera. Really, isn't she cute?
Oh, go away.
He's so adorable. So, Karoo, I did want to mention the Pu'er tea. I did drink some Pu'er tea. But, is it caffeinated? Because I had trouble sleeping after I drank the Pu'er tea. And during the fast, when I make a tea, I drink like 2.5 cups when I brew tea. Because it's a good hydrator. So, I actually did like it. It does have a kind of an earthy smell, but it's, I don't know. Didn't bother me. It was kind of nice. Not something that I probably would, on my own, pick up and go, this smells like something I should make tea out of. I always wonder who makes those decisions. But so I have drank some Pu'er tea, and it was good, and I will drink more. I just need to figure out the time.
So fast.
I did not sleep well last night.
Oh, really?
I basically got about 5 hours of sleep. I couldn't sleep when I came to bed. You, on the other hand, were completely toast. I came to bed and you kind of rolled over and put your head on my shoulder, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" You're like, I mean, literally, that's what you did. You went, and then didn't move. So how big is this cup?
It's like a 40. Isn't it like a... No, it's like, do you look at... 32 ounces?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I'll drink 1.5 of these this morning before going back to bed. And I drank one of these. Well, actually, we had youth soccer signups last night, so we were breaking the fast at youth soccer signups at 6 o'clock.
Eating our McDonald's.
Yeah, eating McDonald's. But the other thing, I don't know, I ate chocolate. I don't know, the chocolate shouldn't have kept me awake that much.
I don't know, I was out. I ate a big bowl of ice cream with chocolate sauce and whipped cream last night. Late. And I still was asleep by 9:30.
Are you going to eat this, or?
No, go ahead.
You hardly eat any.
I'm drinking a giant vat of milk.
Yeah, because
Whole milk.
I don't think that many calories are in milk. I convinced Sarah to drink whole milk. She used to be a 2% gal.
No, skim.
Skim,
We
that's
drink
right.
skim.
I cannot drink skim milk. Skim milk is disgusting.
That was 20 years ago.
It's like water with a skein of...
I can't
It's
drink
like drinking watered down, I don't know.
I can't drink it now either. Yeah, it's like white water.
Karoo, you know this, but Nikki, when I was a kid in Colorado, we had goats. And so we used to milk the goats and drink goat's milk, fresh goat's milk. And it's so rich. And then my brother had a friend who was his age, who lived a mile away from us, across the field, a section of land. Literally, like, we were on this section of land, and we were on this side, and they were on the other. And they had a dairy. And they couldn't legally sell you whole unpasteurized milk, but what they do is they had this, you could actually go when they were doing the milking, and if you had a gallon wide mouth jar, you could go to their house and drop some money in a little box and go in and just like literally siphon the milk off as they were milking the cows, because it was going through the system. And so we would do that, You get a gallon of milk and you put a wax paper square over it and screw the lid on. Take it home, put it in the fridge, and the next day a third of the jar would be cream, and then you scoop the cream off the top, and then use the milk. It was so good. It was just amazing. And you know, I don't know. People complain about being unhealthy, but I don't know. Anything. If you're consuming cream all the time, yeah, it's going to be unhealthy. But
I consume cream all the time.
yeah, you're unhealthy too. I don't know. It's just so good. It's delicious. And it feels wholesome too.
Real food.
Real food. Kind of like real eggs, Nikki. Nikki was going off about how there's no difference between farm fresh eggs and regular eggs. Sarah agrees with me, Carew, on this one. Nikki. Carew. Oh, Carew, I did want to mention that you went off on that. Your Whole Foods / local foods rant. You better eat that last piece.
I can't.
Um,
Can't. Yours.
It's psychological.
I can't. No.
And I found your righteousness somewhat funny, Carew.
Whole Foods good, Whole Foods bad. Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, okay.
He was going off on how we shouldn't be eating a papaya in the winter.
He's right.
He was right, but the tenor of his rant was
So you laughed at him.
entertaining. Yes, I giggled.
You wrote a song about this.
I did write a song about this. I should actually play that song because you might find that song entertaining. I'll do that at some point. It's called Pumpkin Juice and Dandelion Salad. Actually, I've played it for Carew. Nikki hasn't seen it yet. So, yeah, Carew. Pumpkin Juice and Dandelion Salad. So, this video now is approaching half an hour.
You're going to edit this, right?
No, I'm just going to put it up like this. You guys will get to spend half an hour with Sarah and I at our very best. So, I'm going to get some more water and drink it, and then we're going to go back to bed. I think that's the plan. I guess until then we're still dead, right? Yeah, Sarah is definitely still dead.